Hey everybody, it's Tara Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, today I want to talk about the difference between virtual you and in-person you. So often when people get into the online course or online program business, one of the biggest challenges that comes up is the challenge with not showing up in person and having it affect the way that you feel about giving value. Because if you're like me, if you're like other service providers who are used to one-on-one work, is that there are a couple different things happening, right? Your value is on how much you're helping. Your value is on how much time you're spending with a company or an individual to help them. So what happens is there's sort of this yin-yang, or there's this fight between I really want more time. I'm maxed out. I'm burnt out. I'm taking all of my time taking, clients and working on projects and talking to them and doing all of these things. I was on a call the other day and someone said, "Oh my gosh, I'm on Zoom all the time." Like, it's so annoying, right? And but it's that you want to take on clients, you want to grow, you want to help them, you want to make an impact, and you also want to live your life, right? Part of probably why you went out on your own was so you had time freedom. And the challenge or the conundrum becomes we want time freedom, but our idea of helping and where we find value and sort of maybe our self-worth a little bit is in how much we show up and how much we take care of the people that we are serving. So I want to talk about that a little bit today, because if it hasn't come up for you yet, it will when you start to automate and move all of your things online. And so it's an important thing that not a lot of times people talk about. It's like, oh, it's going to be so great. You're going to, have all these online sales and people are going to automatically go through your program and blah, 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 which is awesome. And you totally want that to happen. You want to package what you're doing. And you also want to realize that part of why you serve people is because you like to be around people and you like to interact with people. And so when you have dialed everything in and you are, rocking it, you're making sales, you've got your online signature program, guess what happens? You have created a virtual version of yourself, and everyone who's interacting with that virtual version of yourself is feeling successful. They are interacting with you on a regular basis because you have created a virtual version of yourself. But what a lot of people don't realize is once you do that, then where does your value go, right? Like you are off doing your own thing. People are getting a ton of value from what you're doing, but you don't feel connected anymore. You don't feel like you're making a difference. And so what starts to happen is you create more programs, or you show up and confuse things because you want to teach more, or you want to just like hang out and talk to people. And so it's one of the things that you just need to be really aware of when you start going down this path is if you know that connecting with people is really important, you just don't want to do it as much, or you don't want to, reinvent the wheel every single time you have a new client, then it's okay for you to show up and have calls with them. It's okay for you to show up and, get people together as a group, or create a Slack channel where they can check in with you and ask questions and whatever else. Like, that's okay. And that may be what you need to feel like you're plugged in enough that you are making a difference, because it is a very big change and you have to get used to not being the one who's moving things forward and providing that level of value, because your virtual version of yourself is doing that, right? So you've created the value, you've packaged it up, and less of your time is needed to push things forward. I'll always remember two things. One, I'll always remember the day that somebody came up to me. I was at an event and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you made such a huge difference to me today when you talked about X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "What? I didn't talk to you today. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Oh, I was watching their video about, this topic and blah, blah, blah. And oh my God, it totally changed what I was doing. It made such a huge impact." And I went, "Oh my gosh, just because I am not live in front of him doesn't mean I'm not providing value." I had actually put that video out there and it was part of the program. And typically I would have that conversation with somebody in person, right? As I was going through their project or whatever else. And because I was able to put it out there, he was able to go through it whenever he wanted to, get the value, and I didn't have to be there. I didn't physically have to be talking to him. So that was such an aha moment, because like I said, you get that sort of intellectually, but when it starts to happen, it's a whole different sort of scenario, because then you realize that people are actually, you're giving value without physically being there, giving them value. So that was the first thing. The second thing is I'll always remember the time when I first had a team who was actually doing the work. So this is not an automation kind of epiphany, but this was, I had trained the team and everyone was, excited to work with our clients. And I sat in the room and I wasn't needed. And it was the best feeling in the world for like a day. And then I went, wait a minute. If I'm not needed, if they're rocking it because I've, shown them the process and we've had conversations about it, they know what to do and they're doing an awesome job. If I'm not needed, now what am I going to do? Right? Like, where's my value going to come in, and how do I play a part in that? Right? Because I had created a system, I had created an approach in that scenario, and it was working for me to hand it off to other people. So I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm going to have all this time. I'm going to, my time is going to be leveraged. I'm going to be able to do all these other things. But I went, oh, wait a minute. Like, my value, like my ego is wrapped up in what I was providing. And so I really had to work through that and replace the value that I was doing at that moment, the value I was providing to those clients, and look at providing value in a different way. And so I just want to bring this up because, and I don't know, like, you could be dealing with this right now, or you could be really excited about automating everything and getting it out there. But just remember that you have to be really intentional about what you're going to do to replace your time, because there's going to be a period of time where you're either going to try and get back into the mix and start doing things, and then your team, because this has happened to me, and then your team is going to be like, you are making this worse. Like, you need to just get out of the weeds, go and do something else, and leave us to do our job, because at some point you coming in, it just confuses things, right? Because not only are you the one who is, the leader, but they've now gone and owned the process. And if you come in and start doing things, it gets all jacked up. Same thing with the online course itself, right? You can't just start adding additional videos that are off topic or take them down a different path because you feel like you need to be doing something. And so one of the best ways to do this is and some people will know before they even start that they need to have a live component. They need to have a coaching call or a Q&A call or live events or just some way that they're able to connect with their people because it's important for them to do it. But how do I say this? Don't confuse what people need with what you need, right? Because just because you feel like you have to be there in person to help them doesn't actually mean that they need it. You could create the best program and it could be fully automated and you have answered every single question and nobody has anything that they necessarily need from a content perspective. But what I see a lot is people saying, well, I have to be there to teach them, or I have to be there to show them what to do because they need that. And that may be the case, right? But just be really honest with yourself. If you need that, like if you need to show up and connect with people and see how they're doing and answer questions, or, be their cheerleader and support them or hold them accountable, whatever you need. Maybe you need to meet for coffee with them once a quarter. Maybe you need to have live events. Maybe you need to, be available for them whenever they need it. But just be realistic about the fact that that's what you need, and then create that. You get to create your program. You get to create this experience for people. And it should be something that you love. It should be something that you want to nurture and you want to grow. And so when you look at the virtual you versus the in-person you can really look at what works best. But for me, so often when I'm talking to people, I have to have a one-on-one component because if I don't, people won't succeed. And you don't have to. You want to. And if you have to, how do you then create that in a virtual you environment where you don't have to do that, right? And so I just challenge you, if you're new to this game, to recognize that you may want that, and that's awesome. If you are in this game and you're feeling a little disconnected, or you're not excited about your program anymore, or you just feel like, it is what it is, it's not awesome, blah, 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 have a live version of it. Have some, open up some group coaching calls, open up your calendar a little bit to connect with your people, because what that is saying is that you're just feeling disconnected. You're feeling like you're not showing up and providing that level of value that you want to. But don't mistake that you have to be there and customize the experience for everyone and give everyone what, individually what they want, with your need to show up and provide value. So that is my tip for today. It's a little bit different, but honestly, this is it. Everybody goes through this. It's totally normal. So replace that meaning, that need to connect, either replace it with something else or add it into your program. There's no reason why you can't have, a weekly call or a monthly call or something where you connect with your people, because you may want that. And other people are like, oh my gosh, I totally don't want that at all. Great. Build it into your program, automate it, make it into something that you feel super good about, that people can go through without you being there. And that virtual you is enough, right? And so just recognize that. But hopefully this helps you. I know that at least one person is out there listening to this who needs permission to either step away and not be the one who's doing all the things, or you need permission to plug back in to what you've created and create more of a hybrid kind of program where you are able to connect with some boundaries. Because really the difference between one-on-one and group and moving it completely online is all about sort of your appetite for showing up and using the online platform to provide the sort of the standard things, right? Here are all the things that that you repeat over and over and over again 1,000,000 times. And use the coaching calls, use the time that you connect with people to really make those rich connections and elevate the experience by having that connection point. And being able to do that in whatever way you want to do that really meets that need that you have for connection. All right, there you go. There is your course building secret for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The best thing you can do is to take action on an idea or tip that resonated with you. To help you take action, I have a free gift for you that you can download in the show notes. During each episode, we publish an action plan worksheet and other helpful takeaways from our speakers in the Course Building Secrets Creators Lab. To register for free, click on the link in the show notes. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Tara Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.